you on Filme Shilmy. We're doing our first video interview together.
Yeah, in person, yes. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Now look, congratulations on DoBaaraa, which had its world premiere at the London Indian Film Festival. It shows your character caught up in a vortex of universes and time. And I think the film also revolves around the themes of mental health as well as the theme of loss of innocence. So to what extent does this concept, I guess, compel you to internalize you and your vulnerable side as well?
I think a vulnerable side is something that I hope and I believe every actor should keep intact and explore, use it, especially when you're coming in front of the camera, portraying these characters which are made to feel real. Because that vulnerability is what is going to make the audience feel connect. And where DoBaaraa was concerned, honestly, when it comes to an Anurag Kashyap film, neither do I prep, nor I overthink. Because I know when I'm going to submit myself in his hands, it's going to be taken care of. Right. So that's one director, whenever I have to relax and not stress too much about what am I going to do, how I'm going to do it, it's him I should be going to. So with DoBaaraa, I just let him just help me sail through.
Yeah, I think when I did that interview with Baba, he was saying he's a very spontaneous director. He doesn't like too much prep, and I think that definitely does come across when I watched DoBaaraa as well. But look, despite it being an adaptation of a Spanish film, it's quite dynamic for Hindi cinema. I feel like it's very different. I mean, we've had time warp stuff before, but not to this precision that I think DoBaaraa does. You've always been a risk taker in your life. You've never been scared of taking risks. But has there been a time in your life, Taapsee, where you perhaps took a risk and it kind of backfired or it didn't work out? How did you deal with that incident in your life?
See, some risks sometimes work, sometimes they don't work. But when they don't work, they actually prep you up better for the future, because then you know what mistake you did, provided you've acknowledged it and accepted it. Then you know what not to do or how to avoid something that you did before. So I've never really seen my risk failures, so to say, as failures. They've been like my preparation for a bigger success in the future. So I might not have succeeded in the degrees that I would have wanted to. In a lot of times when I would have taken risk, but then that really prepped me up to how to up the game for the next time. So. And yeah, I mean, if you're an actor, especially in the hands of box office, you should be ready to embrace the failure as well as success. Otherwise, you will never be able to have a sane mind.
Yeah, very well said. And I think no one knows it better than us creatives of how delusional it can be. I think that's called Maya Nagari for a reason, right? So I can totally understand and fathom that. But you've never stuck to genres. Like, you know, I think the beauty of you is that if you've done a Badla, then you've also done a Man Marze, you've also done Chashme Baddoor, which was your first film. So would you say it's become easier now for you to, I guess, pursue the differing styles of cinema? And because I know you also mentioned that at one point, because you started off in South, people looked down upon you because of the fact that you were doing South and you couldn't be to that bracket. Do you feel like people their perceptions have changed about you because you have become a bankable name now? And you have
perceptions have changed diametrically now after so many years of pushing it and consistently trying to prove myself. As I said before many times at many places, that the reception or perception of South stars was very different back when I started in Hindi film industry versus now. And now things are much better. But yeah, with me as well, it took me like 8-9 years from Chashme Baddoor in 2013 to now to become a bankable actor. I knew that I wanted to make a space for myself where I'm not that easily replaceable. Everyone is replaceable in this industry. Let's accept that. It's not that easily replaceable, that someone would want to wait a little more for your date. Someone would want to have you as a first choice for something, and you know, if it's really ruled out, then only move ahead. So I wanted that because I've seen in the beginning of my career, I've been thrown out of films because of non-availability of dates, or you know, this heroine is not fitting in this much of budget, so let's just go to the next one. You know, so it's very easily replaceable. I don't want to be that.
And it's not really about nepotism, you know, because I've been, you know, thinking about this quite a lot. It's not nepotism. I think it's all about the clicks, isn't it? And you having to fit into a certain brand. It's like boxing. Do you feel now, because of the OTT influx, do you feel that boxes have literally been opened up now as well?
See, it has, but there has been there is a difference in how OTT stars, or so to say, how things are received on OTT versus box office, and not necessarily it will translate on both the sides, because otherwise I feel people who are so hugely popular on social media, who have the virtual audience, should be the biggest stars in every industry, which not necessarily happens. There's so many huge stars in Hollywood, if you see, who are not virtually as visible, but they are huge stars still. When the box office comes, when it comes to box office. So OTT, yes, it gives a wider space for a lot more to come in and display their talent, but box office is a different ballgame altogether.
It is.
It is very different.
Yeah, and I think you've again seen the highs and lows of that, but I don't think we have time to get into that, because that's a separate conversation, which I'm sure we will have some other time. But you have a fabulous lineup of movies, and you're playing cricketing legend Mithali Raj in Shabaash, Mithu, which looks fabulous. I just literally watched the trailer actually, it looked really great. So how does doing a sports film, I guess, push the envelope for you as an actor? Because you've obviously done a film like Surma before in the past. And does playing a legend of this caliber add a sense of responsibility and maybe thoda sa pressure point as well on you as an actor?
Pressure point obviously is because you're playing the central character. Whenever you're playing a central character, somehow, and your film is releasing at box office, the pressure does come on the protagonist, because it's a more star-driven industry. So you have to take that pressure and responsibility a lot of times. But when it comes to sports drama, I think that's my most attempted genre, rather, because from the time I did Surma, then I also did Sanki Amak, then I did Rashmi Rocket, and now I'm doing Shabaash Mithu. So I think it's just my affinity and love towards sports. Since I was a kid, I've always been fascinated and wanting to learn sports, which is slowly reflecting in the films. And the more I do it, the more I'm getting, and now I have to really put a break to it, because after the kind of exhaustion, physical and mental, I felt after doing Rashmi Rocket, and then I did DoBaaraa, and then immediately I got into Shabaash Mithu, I was mentally and physically spent.
Imagine.
Yeah, so I did a very definitive break to my sports screen career. I was like, before I forget, I'm an actor and not an athlete.
Yeah, true. I guess that athlete spirit comes. In fact, we spoke about this after doing Badla and Game Over, about how a lot of characters you play almost stays with you after a while.
Yeah, right? It does. Because it's sports, I give in extra, because I generally have love towards sports.
Sure.
So I go that extra mile to be more convincing as a sports star, because I love sports stars, I adore them, I look up to them. So I never want to make them look any way less on screen.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of sports, hopefully let's manifest that you get your superhero role, which you've always aspired to do. And we've got Brahmastra coming up, so you never know. We have our very own creation coming up, which is great.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward.
I'm very happy and very proud actually to have our own amazing superhero kind of creation, and sort of that pays roots to our culture and stuff, so it's amazing. But look, on a final note, it's ironic how you're going to be celebrating 10 years in Bollywood next year. Yeah, I know. It feels so strange to say that. I'm still listening to Har Ek Friend Ka Meena Hota, and I'm just like, oh my god, Dish Kya Dhoond Dhoond. Like, this is Taapsee, my god.
Yeah, 9 years.
It's just gone so quick. And as you know, your co-star and the King of Hearts, Shah Rukh Khan, has been celebrating 3 decades of his superstardom recently. You're doing a film with him called Dunki. So tell me, doing this film at this stage of your career, what significance does it have, especially doing Dunki? And what were some of the fondest memories you had with King Khan that you'd like to share with our viewers?
I think I would love to finish the film and tell you about the fondest memories later.
You're supposed to spill the tea, Taapsee.
I'm just one schedule down, which was a very long one, and it almost like, I feel like pinching myself to make myself realize that yes, it's happening. Because I always say that I don't know how will it even get bigger than this for me in Bollywood, because it's Rajkumar, Hirani and Shah Rukh Khan together. How does it even get better? I don't know. But with him, he is one person, I think we can say that, who's our introduction to the kids of the 90s, so to say, right? The introduction to Hindi films.
Yes.
Because when you talk about Hindi films anywhere in the world, or even to us, the first name that pops in my head is Shah Rukh Khan. My best ever, my most favorite Bollywood film till date is a Shah Rukh Khan film, that's Chak De.
Oh yeah.
So
what a film! One of my favorite films.
Yeah, it is my favorite film, Hindi film ever. So imagine if I'm on the set, it was very, very hard for me to switch off that button to look at him and realize it's him. But I had to do that to do justice to my job. Otherwise, probably I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to work with him again. I don't want to look back and say, oh, I messed it up because I was so much in awe.
Yeah, I feel you. I felt the same when I had to interview him. So I feel you. I mean, to work with him, it must have been a completely different role.
Yeah, but I think I make use of the opportunity behind the camera a lot to sit and talk and know more about his journey. Because coming from Delhi, coming from no background, for everyone, I told him this as well, that for every outsider who comes from Delhi with no background, literally or from ground zero, and to build everything up from scratch by him or herself, you are the ultimate benchmark.
Sure.
And there is, even if his films work or don't work, the love for him has never died. And it is very personal for everyone who connects with him at that level. Like, we really feel when he's happy, we feel when he's sad. So it's that kind of a connect we have with him, which I was very shamelessly fangirling and I told him all of that.
I'm glad you did. I wish I did that, honestly, when I met him. Honestly, it's the best thing that you did. Right, on a final quick look, before we quickly wrap up, is it a feel-good film, Rajkumar Hirani's one?
It is a typical Rajkumar Hirani film. It will make you laugh, it will make you cry, it will make you feel every emotion.
Okay, great, wonderful. Taapsee Pannu, ladies and gentlemen, who was here at the London Indian Film Festival. Taapsee, wonderful to catch up with you after so many years. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.